Have you ever really thought about what makes Las Vegas, Vegas? It's more than just the blinding neon lights, the endless ringing of slot machines. For decades, the city has been built on people. It's the human touch that defines the experience. Think about it. A warm smile from the dealer as you sit down, the smooth, practiced shuffle of a deck of cards, that subtle wink when you hit a lucky streak. This city thrives on connection, on the shared moments between a player and the person running the game. It's a performance, a conversation, a unique kind of entertainment you just can't find anywhere else. The dealers are the heart of the casino floor, the conductors of an orchestra of chance and excitement, making every hand dealt feel personal, every win feel celebrated. But what if that all disappeared? Imagine stepping into a casino on Fremont Street, the historic heart of the city, and finding no one behind the tables. No dealers, no shuffles, no shared laughter over a busted hand. This isn't some far-off futuristic idea. It's happening right now. The Golden Gate Hotel and Casino, a landmark that has stood for over a century, has made a monumental decision. As of 2025, they are eliminating all live dealers from their gaming floor. Every single table game will be run entirely by machines: blackjack, craps, roulette. Is this a brilliant stroke of innovation, a necessary step forward into a more efficient and profitable future? Or is it the beginning of the end for the classic Vegas experience, the slow erosion of the city's soul in favor of cold, hard automation? The world is watching to see if this bet pays off, or if something irreplaceable will be lost forever. So, what exactly is happening behind those historic doors? The Golden Gate isn't just any casino. It's the oldest hotel and casino in Las Vegas, a true cornerstone of downtown. Opened in 1906, this makes its decision to go fully automated all the more shocking. The familiar green felt tables, the clatter of chips. In their place will be a new generation of electronic and automated table games. This isn't a gradual phase-out. This is a complete and total overhaul. The casino's owner, Derek Stevens, who also runs the ultra-modern Circa resort next door, believes that the future of gaming is faster, more streamlined, and less dependent on human labor. The logic is rooted in business. Machines can deal more hands per hour. They don't require salaries or breaks, and they offer a consistent experience every single time. Before we dive into the emotional final days, I gotta ask, if you want to stay on top of the biggest stories shaking up Vegas, do us a solid and hit that like button and subscribe. It's a small click for you, but it's a huge deal for us, and helps us keep bringing you these deep dives into the heart of Sin City. The announcement set a definitive date for the end of an era, September 7th, 2025. That was the day the last hand would be dealt by a human being at the Golden Gate. As that date approached, the atmosphere inside the historic casino began to shift from shock to a heavy, palpable sense of nostalgia and impending loss. You ever hear the phrase, the end of an era? It gets thrown around a lot, but this was the real deal. The final shuffle. As September 7th drew closer, the casino floor at the Golden Gate took on a surreal quality. It was busier than ever, but the energy was different. Regulars, tourists who had been coming for years, curious locals, flocked to the casino, wanting to play one last hand with a real person, to be a part of history. The dealers themselves were the main attraction. They handled the crowds with the same professionalism they always had, but you could see the emotion behind their eyes. For many, this was a family.
One dealer, a veteran of over 20 years at the Golden Gate, told a local news crew, "I've seen marriages, divorces, and kids grow up from behind this table. These aren't just customers, they're my people. A machine can't replace that."
If you've ever been to the Golden Gate, you know about the dancing dealers. It was their signature gimmick, a little piece of old-school Vegas flair. For the final night, the casino planned one last performance, a grand finale. The casino was packed to the fire exits. Dealers put down their cards and began their final routine. They smiled and moved with familiar energy. But this time, it was different. Tears welled in dealers' eyes. Tears in the crowd. Applause rolled across the room, deafening. A raw outpouring, gratitude, sadness, respect. For a moment, automation and efficiency faded. Human connection took over. The final hands were played out across the casino floor. Small personal moments, happening all over the room. Pit bosses officially closing each table, dealers taking a deep breath, holding back emotion as they pack chips. Quiet handshakes between colleagues. Last table closed, final call of "no more bets" echoed and faded. A strange silence fell. Familiar chatter disappeared. Dealers filing out from behind empty tables. Some walk out with heads held high, others with tears streaming down their faces. So, why would a casino with over a century of history suddenly decide to rip out its own heart? To understand this monumental shift, you have to follow the money. This wasn't a decision made on a whim. The blueprint was already running just a stone's throw away. Derek Stevens had a model to look at. Circa Resort and Casino. Circa's ETGs weren't just a novelty. They were a core part of the floor. They were printing money. The data was impossible to ignore. Core motivation, higher throughput. Core motivation, lower labor costs. A human dealer is still human. They need breaks. Machines are relentless. They can deal hands much faster. At Circa, Stevens saw younger players embrace ETGs. Players were willing to play electronic tables. Players preferred lower minimum bets. Players preferred the faster pace. So, what does this new, dealerless world actually look like? Goodbye dealers, hello machines. The first thing you notice is speed. The game is incredibly fast. As soon as one hand is over, the next is ready. No shuffling, no collecting cards, no banter with the dealer, no banter with other players. Pure, unadulterated, somewhat isolating. For players who play the odds and want to maximize hands, this is a dream come true. You can get into a rhythm, a zone. Instead of a single large table, you now have individual terminals arranged in a semicircle around a large central screen. Each player has their own private touchscreen to place their bets. Beyond standard electronic tables, the Golden Gate has invested heavily in hybrid games. These bridge the live and digital worlds. Or a real roulette wheel that spins automatically, with a ball dropped by a mechanical plunger. Designers clearly work to keep noise and visual stimulation high. They're replacing human interaction energy with manufactured technological energy, hoping players won't notice or care about what's been lost. So, you've got a casino full of brand new, shiny machines. But what happens to the people? What happens to the hundreds of dealers, pit bosses, and supervisors whose livelihoods were tied to those old felt tables? The official line from management was reassuring. They announced that there would be no mass layoffs. According to Derek Stevens' organization, every single displaced dealer from the Golden Gate was offered a new position. The majority of these offers were for similar dealer roles at his other downtown properties, Circa Resort and Casino, the D Las Vegas. On paper, it sounds like a perfect solution. But as anyone who's ever had their job upended knows, it's never that simple. For many dealers, the Golden Gate wasn't just a workplace, it was a home. They had spent years building relationships with regular customers. A good dealer could make a very comfortable living. Moving to a bigger casino, your individual hustle and personality might not translate into the same take-home pay. Many veteran dealers at the Golden Gate had seniority. A transfer meant being the new guy on the totem pole, often stuck on the graveyard shift, working weekends, working holidays. One former dealer shared his story anonymously. "I'm too old to start over, working midnights for less money. They offered me a job, sure, but they took away my career." We spoke with a former dancing dealer. She accepted a transfer to Circa. "It's different," she said. "I feel like a number. I miss my work family." One former craps dealer decided to take a role in casino security. He went through the company's training program. "I used to run the game. Now I just watch it." This transition from a front and center performer to a background support role is a key part of the human impact. It treated a job as a collection of tasks rather than a craft. The decision to automate may have been a financial masterstroke for the company, but for the workers, it was a stark reminder that in the relentless march toward efficiency, the human element is often the first casualty. Is Vegas losing its soul? That's the million-dollar question hanging over the strip. For years, the city has been quietly chipping away at the old-school value proposition that made it famous. The legendary dirt-cheap shrimp cocktails are mostly gone. Free parking is now a luxury. It feels like every corner of the Vegas experience is being squeezed for maximum profit. This shift is all part of a broader corporate strategy that prioritizes shareholders over sentimentalists. Automation is just the next logical step in this relentless pursuit of efficiency. We're already seeing it everywhere, from self-serve check-in kiosks at hotels to robot bartenders. This trend is creating a palpable divide. On one hand, you have the mega resorts. On the other hand, you have the old-school joints, fighting to preserve the classic gambling-first Vegas experience. The city that was once a haven for the working-class gambler is increasingly marketing itself to a wealthier, younger clientele who might be more interested in an Instagrammable moment than a hot craps table. So, let's talk about the gamble behind the gamble. How are the actual players reacting? On one side, a surprising number of players absolutely love the new setup. Younger players focused on strategy and speed, they praise the lower minimum bets. One tourist: "I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to play. The machine is faster, the odds are the same, it's cheaper. For me, it's a no-brainer." On the other side, traditionalists, regulars, and many tourists feel alienated. For them, human interaction with the dealer isn't a bonus, it's the point. We saw it firsthand. Players would walk in, scan the silent rows of glowing screens, then walk right back out, and often head next door to the D or Circa for a live table. So how do you market a casino that has just removed its most human element? The marketing machine is reframing it as a revolutionary upgrade. The messaging is all about modernity, efficiency, putting the player in control. They are selling the future, positioning the traditional casino experience as slow, outdated, and inefficient. The marketing language carefully avoids words like automation or replacement. Instead, it uses dynamic, positive terms: next-generation gaming, interactive stadium experience, digital tables. Will they see Golden Gate as a pioneer of gaming's future, or a cautionary tale that traded its soul for higher throughput? The real verdict will be delivered by the players, who will vote with their feet and their wallets. So, is this the beginning of the end for the classic Vegas dealer, or just the start of a new, niche chapter in the city's story? Every casino operator is watching closely. Mid-tier and off-strip casinos are the most likely to follow. They're feeling pressure to lower costs and will treat the Golden Gate as a test case. Luxury brands at the high end of the strip will resist. They build their brand on premium service, exclusivity, and the human touch. Replacing charismatic dealers with machines would dilute the brand. This creates a starker divide: efficiency and accessibility versus bespoke luxury and human connection. Players will have to choose. The shift raises major regulatory questions. Machines cut human error but add risks: glitches, bugs, hacking. A major technical failure could stall the movement for years. The likely future is hybrid. New jobs will appear: techs to maintain machines, ambassadors to guide players, hosts to create atmosphere without dealers. So, we come back to the central question: is this dealer-free Vegas the future, or just a short-term, high-stakes experiment? The Golden Gate has now placed its biggest bet on a vision of the future. It's a vision that is sleek, efficient, profitable, but it's also a vision that feels colder, more transactional, and perhaps a little lonelier. The casino has gambled that the promise of speed, lower limits, and technological novelty will outweigh the deep-seated human desire for connection, conversation, and shared experience. The soul of Las Vegas has always been its people. It's a city built on the magic of human interaction. The move to full automation challenges this identity at its very core. It suggests that the city's soul is not a feature, but a bug, an inefficiency to be engineered out of the system. But now, the final question is for you. So, what do you think? Is this the natural evolution of gaming? Or is it the loss of something irreplaceable? Would you play at a casino run entirely by machines? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion is a crucial part of this ongoing story. And if you want more deep dives into the trends shaping the future of Las Vegas, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.